Namaste, namaste, precious souls. Welcome to Book of Life. We are going to begin the fifth degree. It's been a great journey with everybody, so thank you for your patience and for joining us for as long as you have, and we'll continue. So before we get started, we will do a little invocation. So if you want to just get nice and comfortable, you can place the tip of the tongue on the palate. Just be in a nice receptive pose. To the Supreme Being, the causal Logos, the source and fountain of all life, Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, to all of our spiritual teachers, to Holy Master Choa, Buddha Padmasambhava, to the Circle of Seven, to Robert and Earlyne, to Burton Bigelow, Master Astalea, Lord Kuthumi, Lord Rama, Lord Zoser, to the Astarian hierarchy, to the Lord Yehoshua, Bar Miriam, the Lord Christ, Holy Mother Mary, Lord Kuan Yin Buddha, Lord Gautama Buddha, to all the great ones, Sanat Kumara, the Ancient of Days, the Solar Logos, Lord Amun-Ra, the Universal Logos, the Central Spiritual Sun. All the great ones, our higher souls, our celestial guides, our angel guides. May we be a center for the radiation of thy power. Teach us to travel light, that we may better gain the heights and break the bonds that bind. Teach us to give ourselves entirely to thy service, to attune ourselves to thy will. Teach us to lay down the small personal life for the greater cosmic life, and to love with the love of God, with thanks and in full faith. Tat tat so. Right. So the fifth degree, lesson 1. And the pendulum swings. The coming new age. Humanity, passing through a rite of initiation, has just crossed the brink of the age of Aquarius. It has not progressed beyond sight of the old conditions. Looking back, we see 2 ghastly world wars and several localized wars, chaos, climax, hatred, catastrophe, calamity. Looking ahead, we do not yet see the end of these birth pangs. But thus it seems to always be when we pass into the ethers of a new dispensation. The forces of freedom will win. The world and every person in it from time to time struggles to move from deeper darkness into greater light. We do this in our individual lives, in our relationships, in the lives of our communities and nations. We work to improve ourselves and to bring the divine light of heaven into every aspect of our lives here on earth. Often, we stumble and make mistakes, but making mistakes and learning from them is a large part of our reason for being here in this school ground called Earth. And this struggle to learn, to grow, to become more spiritualized is a truly good one. Coming light. In these dawning hours of the age of Aquarius, some hearts feel afraid because they cannot discern the working of God's hand in the turbulent times. Things couldn't possibly be following the economy of God's plan, they think. But we human beings stand in the valley of mists, and it is difficult for us to see clearly that the sun is shining on the summit. Earth's chaotic upheavals are witnessed by those who compose the eternal council. They signal the stirrings of changes to come, like a giant awakening from a long sleep. Humanity's collective brain is responding to waves of light that closed eyes have not yet seen. Sounds of music reverberate upon unhearing ears. The strengthening rays of light descending into the valley will eventually rouse the giant. Awakening, we will find that we have co-created with the divine source a world filled with grandeur, a world no longer controlled by those in the grip of prejudice, intolerance, hatred, greed, and intent upon ignoring the needs of our Mother Earth, simply to line their pockets. Instead, we are working diligently toward creating a world filled with unity, understanding, appreciation of difference, compassion, responsibility, and divine love for all living beings. Most of all, we must learn how to realize love: love of self, love of partner, love of children, love of home, parents, friends, country, animals, nature, and indeed love of work. We were sent principally to learn how to give and receive love. Until we learn that, we close ourselves away from life's greatest blessings. A young man and woman leaving our universities today cannot claim to be completely educated unless somewhere along the way they have obtained a knowledge of the other world, unless they have studied the science of the psychic and become aware that there is the world of spirit surrounding us. They may be academically intellectual, but they are not fully educated. As our world moves into the light of Aquarius, there seems to be newly released negativity, but it is only seeming. This negativity is but transitory, and the light and the good remain. Were it not so, evolution would grind to a stop. Were there nothing negative with which we must struggle accompanying the incoming good and the light, there would be no choices to be made, no need to develop or express free will, nothing against which to measure the good. We would be as puppets pulled by the strings of some almighty behind stage conductor. We now stand eagerly poised in the dawn of the age of space, when we turn attention toward the heavens, a psychic age, and when we, becoming more sensitive, will become aware of the presence of the other world. The acceptance of such a world makes it necessary to place people on guard against the lowlands and their inhabitants, to teach how to separate the wheat from the chaff, how to define spiritual intuition. We on earth have been given free will, and we can attune our personality wavelength to whichever plane of consciousness we desire in recognizing the unseen world around us. As our world becomes increasingly conscious of the other world, so should we automatically cultivate an attitude of prayer and reverence, an aura of light as a tool toward further spiritual advancement, and as an automatic protection and insulation against that which is undesirable. Auras and New Age healing. Medical scientists will soon create an instrument through which they will study the auric emanations of their patients, thereby becoming esoteric scientists. It will become imperative that science learns to discern ailments by the colors of the auric field. As science has learned that music and all sound emits various vibrational qualities, so will the vibratory emanations of color itself be measured and interpreted. As color vibrations assume individual qualities, physicians will learn to diagnose ailments according to the magnetic, tonal, and color vibrations of auras. Thus, medicine will move suddenly into an entirely new dimension. The physician will be even more than today, treating the whole person, body, mind, and spirit, and not simply a diseased organ. Birth control. One sign of our entrance into the Aquarian age will be the increase in the ability of people the world over to choose and afford birth control. Human beings have difficulty advancing spiritually when dealing with grinding poverty and an overflow of unwanted children to feed and somehow try to nurture. Both men and women in all countries on earth need to continue to be in greater control of whether or not to become parents, and when the time for having children is right for them, if they choose to do so. Women particularly need and deserve the option of choosing to balance any desire for children with their desire for education and with cultivating the means of supporting themselves and any children they choose to have. For women who do not have this choice often find themselves with more children than they desire and in terrible poverty, not only in the material sense, but also a poverty of good health, of free time, of the means to pursue a higher life, with all that that entails, including spiritual pursuits. So Spiritual advancement of the life wave, as well as advancements in prosperity, education, and general health, depend upon people being given as much choice over their own destinies as is possible. Thus, can they truly co-create with the divine being their own lives and the circumstances with which they deal? Also, in terms of birth control, it is important to realize the importance of the moment of birth. As people become more enlightened, they will increasingly understand the influence of the planets and stars at the time of birth. Most people have learned that there is a strong influence of the heavenly bodies at the moment of birth. As birth control becomes more accessible, it will be the moment of birth which will be treasured and planned. At present, the continued development and accessibility of safe methods of birth control is greatly important. How stars affect my life. Astronomers will eventually agree that each individual on Earth is under the influence of other planets, as each wave of their magnetic force comes in rapport with different parts of the Earth. Souls coming into birth directly under various influences will certainly partake of the star forces evident at that moment. As all the planets of our solar system advance spiritually, the effect will most certainly be noted in the spiritual unfoldment of our humanity. We will ultimately use birth control not only as a matter of controlling birth, but as a means of preparing conditions so that incoming souls gain far more wisdom and knowledge of spirit. Changes to come are from mighty principles, which are silently unfolding in the minds of humankind. The worth of a human being will be better understood. Each person will be judged as an individual on his or her own account and not as a useful tool for others' progress. Each will be recognized as an immortal soul. Such is already the current of mystical thought. Principles of this higher order are even now operating, and the dawn of these everlasting lights is upon the horizon. Knowledge of astroscience is valuable to my progress. As the science of astrology assumes its place of prominence in the coming age, astroscientists will understand that the eternal and creative forces operating as zodiacal and planetary influences contribute to every art and science known to humankind. The electromagnetic vibrations in the atmosphere, the continuous and gradual change from day to night, the ebb and flow of tides, seasons of the year, times of famine and plenty, epidemics of sickness and crime, physical births and deaths of all organized beings, vibrations of color and sound, different stages of life and destiny in members of the same family. All these, moving in rhythmic cycles, are influenced by the never-ending vibratory forces of astromagnetism which pervade the universe. These positive negative polarities operate according to the prevailing destiny of the individual planet, and their influences, frequently occurring in cycles of 7, are felt upon every particle of life upon the planet. For example, there are the natural septenary divisions of the human lifespan. The child of 7 years attains the age of reason. After twice 7 comes the age of puberty, the arrival of generative power. Thrice 7 or 21, the age of adulthood in the physical form is completed. 4 times 7 years sees the mental form completed, and personality growth ceases. The growth of energy is continued until the age of 35, when it attains its zenith. At 49, the individual attains the age of greatest discretion. After this time, in cycles of 7, the individual attains increasing spiritual unfoldment, particularly when one has made attempts to understand life and its mysteries. The peculiar influence of the number 7 has from time immemorial been attributed to the influx of powers from planets of the solar system and their electromagnetic action upon the planet Earth, and the cosmic emanations breathed upon its surface. The 7 days of the week mark an outward manifestation of these same cycles. The successful agriculturist, though often without understanding the mystical reason, selects certain cycles of time for preparing the soil and sowing the seed of a hoped-for harvest. The new age will see navigation by sea, air, and throughout space, making use of astromagnetic rhythms. Physical science will not only recognize the presence of magnetic currents throughout space and will take full advantage of them in its space adventures, but will come to know how heat, light, color, and sound are intimately related. The vibrations of light resolve into seven primary colors, known as prismatic colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Scientists will perfect the use of color in connection with vibration. They will coalesce scientific research with manifestations of light, with astromagnetic influences, and determine how our own little planet harmonizes with the music of the spheres. Why is my soul development not exempt from laboratory exactness? Just as astro-meteorological science held sway among the ancients, so will it again come into prominence in the Aquarian age. Physical science has laid down certain rules and methods to hold it to its laboratory exactness. These rules and methods are facing new evaluation as scientists reckon with soul and spirit. New age. Not in any foreseeable future will everyone become clairvoyant on this earthly plane, but one day is dawning when intuitive perception will reveal the presence of etheria. The reality of it will become as vivid a part of the world's everyday consciousness as is our innate knowledge that we must breathe, a reality that will form a part of human experience and become a commonly accepted fact. The new light bearers. Those who have come as light bearers in this time of transition are the vanguard of the rising new life wave. We who have come again to bring the mysteries of rebirth are souls who seek to help each person find the divinity around and within them. It is the destiny of some to challenge as well as to build. Before humanity can embrace new concepts of soul progression, old concepts must be reanalyzed and seen with a new vision. We do not seek to destroy the old, rather we seek to transform by lighting that which is now dark. Darkness is always dispersed through light. We teachers of the mysteries have thus a double purpose: to guide a step further those who are already turned to the light, and to seek those who still stumble in darkness and assist them in their search toward the light. Astarians whose souls yearn for more light have already turned from the darkness, have come to earth eager to accept the light. You are of the new life wave, and as the light diffuses further over the planet, those whose hearts have been seeking will find their way into it. Looking backward through history, we think with sorrow of the wars and the thousands of youths who died, shocked, mangled, filled with hate and torment. In trying to make some sense of these conflicts, we cannot help but realize that, along with hate, a great deal of love and truth were released on earth during these times of great worldwide conflict. Earth's humanity could never release thousands of its finest youths without following through in a search for their souls. Out of despair and desolation, a surge of mothers and fathers, sisters and brothers, sweethearts, spouses, and friends turned toward the unseen spheres, seeking their own. Thus, we can say that the wars, filled with hatred and horror, indirectly helped unleash the light. Every war has seen the veil between the two worlds made thinner. The broken hearts of earth would find their lost ones, and find them they did. This began the recent rise of mystic Christianity, and indeed the mystical understanding of all the great religions, as well as the current New Age movement itself. The close of World War II saw an influx of war babies, many of them New Age souls. Arriving at maturity, they discarded dogma and disdained conformity. They saw the light and knew instinctively the truth of the connection between mind, body, and spirit. And in the years since, the souls arriving on earth seem to be aware from the very beginning of their own spark of divinity within. These light bearers are on a new quest, albeit that many seek blindly without really knowing what they search, but seek they must, for such is their destiny, and through such seeking they will find the light. Revelation cannot come all at once, but gradually builds as this life wave continues. Why war? Could not all this have been come about without the horror of the wars? Why did the wars have to be? Truly, they did not need to be. Humankind, misinterpreting and the insurging spiritual forces of a new age, wrongly attempted to use the force for personal power aggrandizement. The powerful German nation, for instance, twice sought rulership of the world through violence. Subconsciously reacting to the inpouring forces, it applied its power to itself and visualized itself as containing the superior race. He made a pit and digged it and has fallen into the ditch he made. Psalm chapter 7, verse 15. Becoming a force of violence and destruction, she climaxed a cosmic rhythm that otherwise might have carried the world steadily forward. But it is not possible for any race or nation to achieve unity or superiority over others through violence. The violent thought form will turn upon its creator and wreak havoc. Individual races, cultures, tribes, ethnic groups, and nations are like organs in the great body of humanity. When any one group refuses to work with the rhythmic harmony of that body, then disharmony is created rather than ultimate power over others achieved. Ultimate power will never be gained, but through the disharmony. Though much darkness will result, still great light will also come through the lessons learned and the deeper understanding regarding the divinity which connects us all. Eventually, the enlightened state of unity must materialize. Let us hope it can be achieved without further pain, war, and bloodshed. A war fought on a battlefield does not cease with the signing of surrender. The hatred that continues in the human heart rises as thought substance into the etheric realms, aggregating as forces of evil. These forces build to a climax about every 20 years, unleashing a new war. Light-bearing souls must overcome the negative thought substance thus generated, and thereby overcome war by accepting and then working to heal and transmute the darkness or shadow side of themselves. There are powers of darkness to be overcome in every soul, and it is with these that each must struggle. As each person accepts the light and shadow within and fills every aspect with love, the divine spirit flowers. Each person's true challenge is within. When people hate themselves and one another, the inner darkness grows. When each begins to love oneself and one's fellow beings, the inner shadow side is accepted, loved, and healed. Thus, we no longer act from that place filled with hate, but from a place filled with love, understanding, and compassion. Earth's aura is healed as well as the seeds of war cease to harvest. True unity becomes a living reality. Astarian, work to accept and heal your own shadow side. Accept your imperfections. Open your heart to all of yourself. Send every aspect of yourself light and love. Work to make sure that your behaviors, your actions are coming from your highest self. Accept that your shadow side may invite you to speak or behave in a manner filled with darkness. Accept these feelings and disregard the impulses to act upon them. Release no hate thoughts into the mass consciousness. Add no strength to Earth's dark aura. Thus, as we heal ourselves, we heal our planet and make the future far more peaceful than the past. What makes a soul old? When I say that a new life wave is rising, it must not be thought of that I imply a wave of new souls. A light bearer soul is the oldest and most experienced of all in our human life wave. These souls are not superior in the sense of intellectuality. It is only that light bearers have experienced more past lives, in more varied locations, in more circumstances, Such experience gives any soul maturity. These newly incarnating souls will bring an inner development of clairvoyance, telepathy, clairaudience. They will dwell on earth simultaneously with less experienced souls for long centuries, nor will all light bearers come in with the same degree of development any more than have previous life waves. Each soul stands at that soul's own level of soul progression. Souls are not yet ready to become light bearers, will be united with a life wave on a less developed planet. Most incoming souls will be the recipients of better parenting than in ages past. Most souls coming into birth will be children who are wanted and loved. The light bearers are an aggregate of sensitive souls who learn best through a good balance of love and structure. Bent on solving the mysteries of science and religion, the light bearers will have little time to waste on such as war. It will be too busy discovering the secrets of the universe, both the universe within and without. Universal unity will find a place among these souls. Recovering the memory of past lives, they will be busy sharpening their intuitive senses and attuning their inner television receptivity to higher spheres and worlds in space. They will work to elevate the consciousness of those who would seek to dominate through religion, politics, war, or violence. America, the melting pot of nations, is a point of beginning to the new life wave. In the United States, as in some other countries, experience has taught us that no one race or culture is superior to any other, and this lesson has gradually taken hold of all with an open heart and a true understanding. Here is mingled the blood of all races, cultures, ethnic backgrounds, and religions to a greater degree than anywhere on earth. And it is from such an experience in unity and valuing diversity that the light bearers can rise. These souls will have experienced lives in all races, nations, religions. Each will now have known a mother in every land, will have worshiped deities of every faith, and thus will feel an innate sympathy for all of life and for the sacredness of all places on the earth. Though each soul may not understand the full reason behind it, the light bearer can feel more truly universal. These souls will embody the synthesis of universal unity. Their constant scattering will, in turn, disperse this wisdom and light, the value of principles. There is an accelerated evolution coming in this dawn of the new age and the birth of a new life wave, and much of it is being accomplished through Astara and Astarians. Astarians are serving a magnificent cause through though individually one may be aware of merely studying the degree lessons. To study them is to absorb spiritual wisdom and power and to move toward higher initiation. Then, without forethought, one applies the principles as the days of one's life proceed. As Astarians from every country go forward in light and principle, they cannot help but dispel darkness, sweeping a tide of other searching souls with them. Through the practice of Astarianry, we have each gained an innate strength and wisdom that we may not otherwise have acquired. With the birth of a new life wave, those who truly seek the light will turn not to traditional dogma and religious rigidity, but will seek the light within themselves. Thus, meditation, chanting, visualization, working with light and energy, healing through an understanding of the connection between mind, body, and spirit are practices which will only gain in popularity, interest, and devoted practitioners. The reality that all people have the divine spark of light within them as well as around them will continue to be more deeply and universally understood. Thus, light bearers may be inspired by others, but will not turn over their personal power to a church father as in days past. And this is all to the good. There, in the inner part of our being, we can find the peace and guidance the outer world denies us. The light bearers will be composed of souls, therefore, who not only turn outward, seeking to grasp outer space and the stars, but also within, seeking answers to the mysteries out there. Thus, awakening, the light bearers are already balancing the inflow and outflow of all aspects of the human being. Some struggling souls still believing in violence but wishing to be part of the mainstream of progress will allow themselves to be blended with the eddying force of the current and carried forward. Though they will make little effort to swim themselves, they will not resist the force of the tides. When saturated by the waters of a newfound wisdom, they cannot help but move with the current that carries the entire life wave toward the light. Astrology viewed from Etheria. Concerning the connection between outer space and inner space, we turn once more to the teachings of Burton Bigelow, the spirit who has shared his wisdom with us in past lessons. We inquired concerning astrology. Can you give us information about the teaching of astrology in Etheria? And Burton answered, astrology becomes a real and complicated science viewed from Etheria, for certainly all the planets affect each other in a mysterious manner. Imagine a diagram of our solar system with the sun at the center. Encircle each of the planets with many circles, which represent fields of energy. Repeat the same around the sun. You will see that many of the circles intersect each other. Their energy fields affect all the living beings on each planet, depending upon the combination and modifying effect each exerts to the other. Astrology is more than just my own chart. The study of astrology in Etheria is thus complicated by the study of not only each planet's relation to the others, but the effect of all the separate spheres of influence upon each other. If our planets affect each other by means of gravitation, for example, which they most certainly do, surely two spheres of planetary powers also interact and counteract each other. The so-called astrology engaged in by many people on Earth is elementary compared to its scientific significance when studied from over here. There are planetary powers and influences which are tremendous and not without their dangers. It is probably for the best that Earth's scientists have not yet delved deeply into the true science of astrology. Such profound studies must be approached with utmost reverence and prayer. To open the door of these realms is to tread where the angels pause, and it is good that such scientific research be limited to those with a spiritual understanding. Not only do the concentric circles in zones and zones about all the planets and the sun commingle, but the esoteric formulas of etheric chemicals and combinations are continually changing with the movements of the heavenly bodies. Also, we must consider the streams of light approaching our solar system from other faraway stars. To the people on Earth, space is simply a star-misted heaven, but from the depths of the vast ocean of ethers roll incomparable forces, powers, influences, all affecting each other. Becoming involved in analysis of this divine laboratory is no mean undertaking. Space then becomes simply a term used to describe the indescribable. Space becomes that which has no boundaries, no limits, no center. It is important for the average person to speculate upon these matters occasionally, if only to discover the immensity of it and to become aware of our own limitations. Every sphere, every zone about which we have spoken is inhabited by beings according to their degree of soul progression. Glancing at the chart of our solar system with its encircling spheres, it becomes readily discernible that the progressing pilgrim ultimately arrives at spheres which are interplanetary. Eventually, they become interstellar. That is, in their circumference lies more planets than one, innumerable stars and suns. Again, all these spheres are filled with beings. In every journey from planet to star, the pilgrim comes in touch with innumerable groupings of other pilgrims advancing toward the ultimate. Since our study is limited to the earth and its own spiritual spheres, let us withdraw again to that which is the highest encircling our planet Earth before it becomes involved in interplanetary circles, the Christ sphere of glory. It will be found to be that of our causal plane. Here is our heaven world, our Summerland, and our paradise, our ring pass not, until we have attained all the soul fulfillment earth and its spiritual spheres has to offer. The highest causal plane includes in itself all the lower spheres, with earth at its center, much as the yolk of an egg is centered in the surrounding substance, or the peach seed lying at the center of the peach, or as the avocado seed is surrounded by the fruit itself. The study of Earth, our solar system, and its various spheres is quite sufficient for our understanding at our present level. Our searching for understanding and wisdom of both inner and outer spiritual reality will continue with the next lesson. Come with us, initiate. Welcome to the pages of the fifth degree. Hail, seeker of the amethyst cross. Brighten your path. Often, life is like walking a path in the forest. Light filters down from above through the tree branches to illuminate the way before you, but sometimes the surrounding growth is so thick that very little light makes its way through the branches, and you are left in near darkness, moving forward very slowly, step by step. Astara's lessons are for those who wish to move swiftly and surely down the path of life. The knowledge they contain enables you to see more clearly the light from above. With this ability, you become more aware of yourself as well as the life around you. You move easily and freely from the darkest heart of the forest of everyday life into the light of spiritual awakening. In lesson 2, in the fifth degree, the harmonizing wavelength of love, we will learn about marriage in heaven, love and sound, love and religion, what makes love die, what a true marriage consists of, the basis of humankind's search for fulfillment, the purpose of self-discipline, why the impulsive marriage is hazardous. That will be fun. So before we leave, we will, if you guys are open and receptive, we'll share the last October blessing. I want to thank and wish all the Indians a happy Diwali, which is coming up tomorrow. Hope you enjoy your holiday. Just be in a nice receptive pose. Let the blessing of the Divine Spirit come into your life, not to be permanent possessions, but to be given some further impulse of love by you, then passed on to another whose dark life needs their light, or whose weak life needs their sustenance. Beyond the ebb and flow of physical life, there is a serene pool of the eternal waters, which soothes and refreshes you as would a magical balm. So we seek that which is above. We journey the way within to that holy land where there is healing for the troubled soul.
Let them in. Okay.
Stability.
I know. This day
for the ruffled mind. May our lives fulfill the promise of its potential. Tat so. May all on this call be blessed by the Supreme God, all those that we have invoked to. May the divine emanation of the divine eternal Aum, emanating out from all the universes and all the galaxies in reverent devotion to the causal Logos, be directed into and onto all on this call, to surround, enfold, embrace all with unconditional love, the pure white light of unconditional love. Only good can come to us, and only good shall go from us. We give thanks, we give thanks, we give thanks. Physicalize, physicalize, physicalize. Namaste, precious, precious souls. Thank you so much for joining us for the beginning of the fifth degree. I hope you were with us this last weekend for the 74th anniversary. And Greg's new book, The Angelic Encyclopedia, is phenomenal. It really is. And I'll just share a little bit of kind of what the experience was for me personally. We know that God is omnipresent, omnipotent, omnipowerful, and we experience these in varying ways or methods. And as Reverend Greg has talked about, the angel's name is a portal for that energy. And what I was able to see was, and I remember what Master Choa used to say, that you can't plug into the big power plant. It has to be stepped down into power lines and then step down into power lines and step down into power lines until it comes into the house, right? And what I see was this angelic encyclopedia is one step toward being able to experience that aspect of God through this portal, through the experience by invoking the names of these great beings. And this is a path toward evolution. And I think it's going to be very, very powerful, along with everything else that we do. And I just wanted to share that with you and hope that you have the opportunity to pick this up. It was an amazing that the video is up on YouTube already on Astara 1951. And hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for Blessing of the Prayer Petitions. And we'll see you on Wednesday for the Mystic Vibration in the classes. And we'll see you. See you soon. So take good care, and thank you so much for sharing your time and your light with all of humanity that you come in contact with, even the ones you don't think you're impacting, you are. So I appreciate that, and thank you. Namaste, precious, precious beings, precious souls. Take care.